When I speak of letting them go, I am not speaking of physical separation, though that may sometimes follow. I am speaking of a mental and spiritual release, releasing others from your expectations, your demands, your need for them to fulfill some role you have assigned them in the drama of your life. This release is not for their sake, but for yours. For as long as you hold others in a fixed state in your imagination, demanding they change while you remain the same, you are bound to them in limitation. Let me share with you a principle that underlies all true manifestation. The outer world is nothing more than the projection of your inner assumptions. There is no world outside of your consciousness. What you see out there is nothing more than your consciousness pushed out. The people in your life, their behaviors toward you, the circumstances you find yourself in, all are reflections, projections of your states of consciousness, your assumptions about yourself and the world. Many of you have heard me say, imagination creates reality. But tonight I wish to deepen your understanding of this law. Your imagination is not creating others, it is creating your experience of others. The difference is crucial. When you imagine a person changing to suit your desires without any transformation in yourself, you are attempting to violate the most sacred gift given to all beings. You cannot change another, you can only change yourself, and in that change, transform your experience of them. Consider this: if you were the only being in existence, and everything and everyone you perceive were but aspects of yourself projected outward, how would you approach transformation? Would you struggle and fight with these projections, demanding they change while you remain fixed in your ways? Or would you realize that the only point of power is within, in your consciousness, in your assumptions, in the feeling and tone of your inner conversations? I tell you, there is only one cause for the phenomena of life, and that cause is consciousness. Consciousness is the one and only reality. If you wish to change the effects in your life, you must change the cause, your consciousness. And the most direct way to change your consciousness is through the control and direction of your imagination. Now let us consider your relationships. Perhaps there is someone in your life who you believe must change for you to be happy. A partner who doesn't show love in the way you desire. A parent who doesn't respect your choices. A friend who betrays your trust. An employer who doesn't recognize your worth. You have tried to change them through external means, through conversations, arguments, withdrawal, manipulation, and yet they persist in being exactly who they are. This persistence is not a failure of your manifestation abilities. It is perfect success, for you have been manifesting exactly what you have been conscious of. If you hold in your mind an image of another as flawed, limited, hurtful, they must play that part in your life. They have no choice, for the law is absolute. Consciousness is the only reality, and what you are conscious of, you must experience. The great liberation comes when you truly understand that to change your experience of another, you need only change your consciousness of them. But and this is the great secret. You cannot authentically change your consciousness of another until you first change your consciousness of yourself. For what you see in others is always a reflection of what you believe about yourself. If you perceive betrayal in your world, ask yourself, where have I betrayed myself? If you perceive rejection, ask, where have I rejected my own nature, my own desires, my own truth? If you perceive lack of appreciation, ask, have I truly appreciated myself, honored my own gifts, acknowledged my own worth? The answers may surprise you, for we are often blind to our own self-betrayal, self-rejection, self-criticism. Yet these internal states are the true causes of our outer experiences. Change these, and your world must change in response. So when I say focus on yourself and let them go, I am inviting you to the most profound spiritual practice, the practice of self-transformation through the deliberate choice of your state of consciousness. To enter a state where you feel yourself to be the person you desire to be, regardless of external evidence to the contrary. To persist in this state until it becomes your dominant feeling, your natural assumption about life. Let me give you a personal example from my own experience. Many years ago, I found myself in a situation where someone close to me was behaving in a way that caused me great distress. I wanted desperately for them to change, to see things from my perspective, to act differently. I spent countless hours in mental argument with them, rehearsing all the reasons they should be different than they were. And yet, despite all my mental effort, nothing changed. In fact, the situation worsened. It was only when I realized the truth of what I now share with you that transformation occurred. I asked myself, what state am I occupying that is making this experience inevitable? How am I seeing myself that creates this reflection? The answer came with painful clarity. I was seeing myself as unworthy of respect, as someone who needed to fight for recognition. And so my world faithfully showed me this self-concept, reflected in the behavior of another. The moment I changed my concept of self, when I assumed the feeling of being naturally respected and valued, my experience of this person transformed completely. I did not ask them to change. I did not demand or plead or manipulate. I simply changed my state of consciousness, and my world rearranged itself to match my new assumption. This is the law, and it works with mathematical precision for anyone who applies it. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, are you saying that I should simply accept mistreatment? That I should allow others to behave badly and do nothing? Not at all, my dear friends. I am saying something far more revolutionary. I am saying that what appears as mistreatment is itself a reflection of your state of consciousness. And that by changing your state, what appeared as mistreatment must either transform or remove itself from your experience. When you truly step into a new concept of self, one in which you are worthy, loved, respected, and free, those who cannot reflect this back to you will either transform in your experience or disappear from it altogether. This is not something you do to them. It is simply the law in operation. Like iron filings arranging themselves around a magnet, your experiences arrange themselves around your dominant state. So let them go. Release them from your expectations, your demands, your mental arguments. This does not mean you become a doormat, or that you do not establish healthy boundaries. It means you stop trying to change them through external means and instead focus on the one point of power you truly have, your own state of consciousness. How do you do this in practical terms? Through the deliberate use of your imagination in the state hinting to sleep, that drowsy receptive state before sleep, or upon first awakening. In this state, consciousness is most impressionable. It is here that you plant the seed of your new reality. Do not imagine others changing. Instead, imagine yourself experiencing the state that their change would bring you. If you desire respect from another, feel yourself respected. If you desire love, feel yourself loved. If you desire freedom, feel yourself free. The feeling is the secret, not the specific person or circumstance. And here is another crucial point. When you imagine your desired state, it must be from the consciousness of it being done, complete, already a fact. You do not wish for it, you do not hope for it, you do not pray for it to happen in some future time. You enter the state of consciousness where it is done now, and you view the world from that state. Many fail in manifestation because they approach it from a consciousness of lack, of needing, wanting, hoping. But the law responds not to what you want, but to what you are. It is your state of being that determines your experience, not your desires. Desire is simply the impulse that moves you toward a new state, but it is in the assumption of the state fulfilled that the creative power lies. So tonight I invite each of you to a new practice. Before you sleep, enter that drowsy state where consciousness is most impressionable. Then, instead of reviewing the disappointments and frustrations of your day, especially those involving others, consciously select a scene that implies your desire fulfilled. Not others changing, but you experiencing the state that their change would bring. Feel the naturalness of this state. Sense its reality. Enjoy the feeling of it accomplished. Then drift into sleep from this consciousness. Do this night after night, and you will be astonished at how your outer world begins to conform to this inner assumption. During your waking hours, whenever you catch yourself focusing on others, criticizing them, wishing they would change, feeling frustrated by their behavior, gently bring your attention back to yourself. Ask, what state am I in that is creating this experience? What would be the feeling if my desire were fulfilled right now? Then, as best you can, enter that state and view your world from it. This practice requires vigilance and persistence, for your habitual patterns of thought are strong. The tendency to blame, to focus outward, to demand that others change is deeply ingrained. But each time you catch yourself and redirect your attention inward, you strengthen your power to choose your state consciously. And remember, the state you choose must feel natural to you. If it feels like pretense, like fantasy, it will not take root in your consciousness. This is why I emphasize the feeling, the emotional tone of the state desire. When you capture the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you make it feel as natural as your current reality feels now, then the bridge of incidents that leads to its physical manifestation is automatically set in motion. I have tested this law in innumerable ways in my own life and witnessed its operation in the lives of countless others. It never fails. Consciousness is the only reality. And what you are conscious of, you must experience. Change your consciousness and you change your world. Now there is another aspect of letting go that we must address. Not only must you let go of others in the sense of releasing them from your expectations and demands, but you must also let go of your attachment to specific outcomes and timing. Many of you have heard the phrase detachment in spiritual teachings, but few truly understand its meaning. Detachment is not indifference or lack of desire. It is the profound understanding that what you seek is already yours in consciousness, and therefore you can release the anxiety, the need, the desperate grasping that comes from believing it is separate from you. When you truly know that what you desire is already accomplished in consciousness, when you have captured the feeling tone of your wish fulfilled and made it natural, then you can release it completely, confident that its outer manifestation is assured by law. This is true detachment, and it is essential for manifestation. For as long as you are anxiously looking for signs of your desire's fulfillment, as long as you are checking to see if it's working, you are actually affirming its absence. You are occupying a state of consciousness that says, it is not here, and I need evidence that it's coming. From this state, you can only manifest more evidence of absence, more need for proof. The master manifestor assumes the feeling of the wish fulfilled and then releases it completely, turning their attention to the present moment, confident that what is done in consciousness must express itself in experience when the time is right. They do not make their happiness or peace contingent on the manifestation. They are already experiencing the state that the manifestation would bring. This is the ultimate meaning of focus on yourself and let them go. Focus on your state of consciousness, on the feeling tone of your being, and let go of all concern about external conditions and others' behaviors. Trust that as you maintain the desired state in consciousness, all outer circumstances must rearrange themselves to reflect this inner reality. I am often asked, but Neville, how long will it take? When will I see results? And my answer is always the same. It takes as long as it takes for the new state to become your dominant feeling, your natural assumption. For some, this happens in an instant. For others, it requires days or weeks of persistent assumption. The variable is not the law, which is absolute, but your ability to naturalize the new state. If you have spent years assuming a certain self-concept, seeing others in a fixed way, it may take time and persistence to establish a new pattern. But I promise you this, every moment spent in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled moves you closer to its expression in your outer world. There is no loss in the economy of God. No effort is wasted. And here is something else to consider. The moment you truly capture the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you have it. The inner experience is the reality. The outer manifestation is but its shadow. Many of you are so fixated on the shadow that you miss the substance that is already yours in consciousness. Learn to enjoy the state itself, independent of its outer confirmation. If you desire a loving relationship, for example, capture the feeling of being loved and appreciate that feeling for its own sake. Revel in it. Enjoy it. Let it fill your consciousness. In doing so, you are experiencing the substance of your desire, and the shadow must follow by law. This brings us to another crucial aspect of letting go, releasing the past. Many of you are bound to your past experiences, carrying them forward into your present and projecting them into your future. You have had experiences of betrayal, rejection, failure, and you hold these as evidence of what is real or possible for you. But I tell you, the past exists only in your memory. It has no power to create your future, except through your continued consciousness of it. When you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you realize that you are free at any moment to create anew, regardless of what has gone before. Your past does not define you unless you continue to identify with it. Your previous relationships do not determine your future relationships unless you carry forward the same assumptions. You are free now, in this very moment, to choose a different state, to assume a different self-concept, and in so doing, to create an entirely new future. This is true forgiveness, not the forgiveness that says, you did something wrong, but I'll overlook it. Rather, it is the profound realization that there is nothing to forgive because what you experienced was but the reflection of your own state of consciousness at that time. As you shift your consciousness, you automatically release the past and all involved in it. So focus on yourself, not your surface self with all its habits and history, but your true self, your consciousness, which is God in individualized expression. For that is what you are. God pushed out into expression as the unique being that you are. Your consciousness is God consciousness. Your imagination is God imagination. Your creative power is God power. When you truly grasp this, you understand that focusing on yourself is not selfishness. It is the ultimate responsibility. For in transforming your own consciousness, you transform your world. And since all of us share the one consciousness differentiated into seemingly separate beings, your transformation contributes to the transformation of all. This is the esoteric meaning behind the command to love your neighbor as yourself. It is not merely a moral injunction. It is a metaphysical fact. Your neighbor is yourself pushed out. What you see in others is what you have first seen and accepted in yourself. Love yourself. Accept yourself as the divine being that you truly are. And you automatically extend this love and acceptance to all you encounter. And now we come to perhaps the most challenging aspect of our subject. Loving yourself enough to let go of those who cannot or will not reflect your highest vision of yourself back to you. This does not mean condemning them or judging them. It means releasing them to their own journey while you focus on yours. If you have been in relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendly, where you feel diminished, unappreciated, or constrained, it may be time to redirect your energy. Not necessarily by ending the physical relationship, though that may sometimes be the natural outcome, but by ending your psychological and emotional dependence on their approval or understanding. Many of you stay in situations that drain your energy and dim your light because you fear being alone or because you believe you can eventually change the other person. But as we have established, you cannot change another. You can only change yourself. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do, both for yourself and for them, is to release them from your expectations and focus on your own transformation. Remember, this is not abandonment, it is respect for their journey and commitment to your own. As you shift your focus to your own consciousness, raising it to higher states of love, fulfillment, and peace, one of two things will happen. Either they will be drawn up along with you into this higher vibration, or the relationship will naturally dissolve, making way for connections that better reflect your new state. Either outcome is perfect because both serve your evolution and theirs. This is the true meaning of all things work together for good. Not that everything that happens is inherently good, but that all experiences, when approached from the consciousness of your deep nature, contribute to your awakening and expansion. So tonight, as you contemplate this teaching, I invite you to take inventory of your relationships. Where are you focusing on changing others rather than transforming yourself? Where are you demanding that reality conform to your desires without first establishing the corresponding state in consciousness? Where are you holding others responsible for your happiness or fulfillment? Then, with compassion for yourself and others, begin the practice of shifting your focus inward. Not in narcissistic self-absorption, but in recognition that the kingdom of heaven is within you, and it is from this inner kingdom that all outer experiences are generated. Start small if you must. Choose one relationship or situation that has been challenging and apply this principle. Before sleep tonight, imagine yourself experiencing the state that a transformed relationship would bring. Feel the freedom, the joy, the peace. Make it real in your consciousness. Then release it completely, trusting the law to bring about the outer manifestation in its perfect timing. During your waking hours, whenever your attention is drawn to the other person's behavior or the external conditions, gently bring it back to your own state. Ask yourself, what am I assuming right now? What state am I occupying? Then consciously choose again, selecting the state that aligns with your desire rather than your history. This practice requires vigilance and commitment. The habitual mind will try to pull you back into old patterns of blame, criticism, and external focus. Each time it does, simply notice without judgment and redirect your attention to your state of being. Over time, this new pattern will become natural, and you will find yourself spontaneously maintaining higher states of consciousness. And remember, the goal is not to use this teaching to manipulate others or to get what your ego wants. The goal is to awaken to your true nature as a divine being capable of creating consciously rather than by default. It is to move from being a victim of circumstances to being the author of your experience. It is to fulfill the true purpose of your existence, the full expression of God in your uniquely individualized form. As you practice focusing on yourself, on your consciousness, your assumptions, your feeling states, and letting go of others, you will discover a freedom and power that perhaps you have never known before. You will understand that you are not at the mercy of the world. The world is at the mercy of your consciousness. You will know with absolute certainty that what you experience is what you are, pushed out into expression. And in this knowing, you will find peace. Not the peace that comes from controlling external conditions, but the peace that comes from mastering your internal condition. The peace of knowing that whatever happens outside, you remain in control of your state of being, your point of view, your experience of life. This is true freedom. Not freedom from circumstances, but freedom within circumstances. Freedom to choose your state regardless of what appears in the mirror of the world. Freedom to create consciously through the deliberate selection of the states you occupy. So tonight, as you lay your head upon your pillow, remember, focus on yourself and let them go. Enter the state that would be yours if your desire were already fulfilled. Feel its reality, its naturalness. Then sleep knowing that as you have assumed, so shall it be in your experience. The law is absolute and it never fails. What you are conscious of, you must experience. Change your consciousness, and you change your world. This is the promise and the challenge I leave with you tonight. My dear friends, we have explored together a profound truth that has the power to transform your life completely. Remember that you are not a helpless observer of your life circumstances, but the author of them through your consciousness. Your assumptions, beliefs, and the feeling tone of your inner world are constantly being projected outward as your experience. When you truly understand that focusing on yourself, on your state of consciousness, is the key to transformation, you free yourself from the exhausting effort of trying to change others. You recognize that letting others go is not abandonment, but the highest respect for their journey and yours. You see that in releasing your attachment to how others should be, you create space for them and you to become what you truly are. Practice these principles daily. Before sleep and upon waking, consciously select the state that implies your wish fulfilled. During your waking hours, vigilantly monitor your assumptions, choosing again whenever you find yourself focusing outward rather than inward. Trust the law implicitly, knowing that what is done in consciousness must objectify itself in your experience. And above all, remember that you are God individualized, the supreme creative power focused into expression as the unique being that you are. Honor this divine inheritance by using your imagination consciously, lovingly, and wisely. For as you transform your consciousness, you transform your world, and in doing so, contribute to the transformation of all. The choice is always yours, in every moment. Choose wisely, choose lovingly, and watch as your world reshapes itself to reflect the glory of your true being. God bless you, my dear friends, and may you go forth in the joy and power of this understanding.
In the hustle and bustle of life, many of us find ourselves chasing after what we desire, be it success, love, peace, or wealth. We work tirelessly, often to the point of exhaustion, believing that the harder we try, the closer we come to achieving our dreams. But I tell you today, the secret is not in the trying, but in the being. You see, the universe responds not to your efforts or your struggles, but to your state of being. When you stop trying to get it, you open the door for it to come to you. The more you try to force something into existence, the more you affirm to the universe that you do not already possess it. You are in a state of lack, and in that state of lack you repel the very thing you desire. Let us reflect on the words, "Stop trying to get it, and you will have it all." The moment you realize that you are already the embodiment of all that you seek is the moment everything starts to shift. The key is within you. The power you seek is within your own consciousness. You must first recognize your divine nature and the abundance that already exists within and around you. Now, take a moment to think about a time when you were desperate for something. Perhaps you wanted a promotion at work, or you longed for a particular relationship to come into your life. When you focused solely on the desire itself, did it not seem to elude you? But when you relaxed and began to live in the assumption that it was already yours, did it not naturally flow to you? This is the power of your inner world. What you believe, what you assume, and what you feel within yourself is what you manifest into your outer world. The secret to having it all is not in pushing and striving for it, but in surrendering to the knowing that it is already yours. The moment you stop trying to get it, you align with the energy of having it. Let me ask you, how would you act if you already had everything you desired? How would you feel if all your dreams were already fulfilled? Would you feel more relaxed, more confident, more peaceful? This shift in perspective is not a mere exercise in imagination, it is the very foundation of manifestation. You must embody the feelings of your desires fulfilled, for in doing so you create a vibrational match to those desires. The more you embody the feeling of having it all, the more it will flow to you effortlessly. This is why the path to manifestation lies in your belief. If you persist in the belief that you are lacking, you will continue to attract lack. But when you believe, truly believe, that you are whole and complete in this very moment, everything you need will come to you naturally. You do not need to seek it out, chase after it, or force it into existence. It is already yours by divine right. The law of attraction, a principle that many talk about but few truly understand. The universe is not something separate from you. It is not out there, distant, or beyond your reach. The universe is within you. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings, and your actions all work in harmony with the universe to create your reality. You are not a passive observer. You are the creator. You are the architect of your own life. The moment you stop trying to chase after what you think you need, you begin to recognize that everything you have ever desired is already inside you. Imagine you are sitting in a room, and the room is filled with treasures, gold, jewels, and everything you could ever want. All you need to do is open your eyes to the room that you are already in. There is no need to go outside of this room to search for what you desire. Everything you need is already within your reach, just waiting for you to realize it. Yet many spend their entire lives searching for treasure outside the room, thinking it is somewhere beyond their grasp, when in truth it has always been with them. The act of trying to get something stems from a deep-seated belief in lack. When you are in the vibration of lack, you constantly feel that there is something missing from your life. You feel as though you must earn what is rightfully yours. But what if I told you that there is no need to earn what you already have? What if I told you that the moment you accept your inherent worthiness, everything you desire will naturally come to you? Your desires are not there to torment you, to make you feel incomplete. They are there to remind you of who you truly are. Your desires are a reflection of the divine essence within you, calling you to awaken to your full potential. The only thing standing between you and your desires is your belief that you need to work hard to earn them. The truth is, you do not need to earn what you are already entitled to. Your desires are simply a reflection of the consciousness you hold. To stop trying to get it means to cease striving from a place of fear or desperation. It means stepping into a state of trust, knowing that all things are working together for your good. When you stop trying to get it, you begin to live in alignment with the flow of life, with the natural rhythm of the universe. And in that flow, everything you desire will effortlessly appear. Consider the nature of a river. The river does not struggle to flow. It does not try to get to the ocean. It simply flows, knowing that its destination is already set. It moves naturally, without resistance, carving its own path, and in doing so, it reaches the ocean. It doesn't chase the ocean, it becomes the ocean. It merges with it. And so it is with you. When you stop trying to get what you desire and simply allow yourself to be, you align with the natural flow of life. Everything you need will come to you as effortlessly as the river flows to the sea. The struggle many face comes from the belief that they must control the outcome. They try to micromanage the how and when of their desires, but the how and when are not for you to decide. Your role is to simply believe, feel, and act as if your desires are already fulfilled. The universe will take care of the rest. When you surrender the need to control, you open the doors for your desires to come to you in ways far beyond your limited understanding. You see, every thought you think is a seed you plant in the soil of your consciousness. The quality of the seeds you plant determines the harvest you will reap. But here's the catch. It's not about planting seeds in a frantic attempt to get something. It's about planting seeds with the knowing that the harvest is already yours. When you plant with the intention of getting something, you are planting with the energy of lack. You are affirming that you do not have it now, and that energy ripples out into the universe. But when you plant with the knowing that it is already yours, you plant with the energy of abundance, and that energy attracts more of the same. Let me tell you something else. The things you desire are already in alignment with your purpose. The dreams you have are not random. They are part of the divine plan for your life. You were born with a specific purpose, and your desires are the whispers of your soul, guiding you towards that purpose. When you stop trying to get it, you allow yourself to be guided. You trust that the desires you have are simply stepping stones along your journey, not obstacles to overcome. There is a profound peace that comes when you stop trying. It is the peace of knowing that everything is already working in your favor. You do not have to fight for what is yours. You do not have to prove yourself. You do not have to push or strain. The more you push, the further you push away what you desire. But the more you surrender, the closer you draw it to you. This peace is the key to unlocking your desires. When you are at peace, you vibrate at a frequency that is in perfect harmony with the universe. The universe is not a chaotic, unpredictable force. It is a system of perfect order and balance. And when you align yourself with that order, everything flows effortlessly to you. But the moment you step into resistance, the flow is interrupted. The more you try to control, the more you block the very thing you seek. It's time to let go of the struggle. It's time to trust in the process. The moment you stop trying to get it, you open yourself to receiving it. Your desires are not a reward for hard work, they are a reflection of who you are at your core. The moment you stop seeking, you begin to see the truth. You already have it. You are the very embodiment of everything you have ever desired. And this truth is not limited to material things. It extends to your relationships, your health, your happiness, and your inner peace. When you stop trying to get love, love comes to you. When you stop trying to get success, success comes to you. When you stop trying to get validation, validation comes to you. Everything you seek is already within you, waiting to be recognized. So take a moment to reflect on your desires. What is it that you have been chasing? What have you been striving for? Now ask yourself, what if it is already mine? What if I do not need to work so hard to get it? What if I simply allow myself to experience it now? When you shift your thinking from trying to getting, you align yourself with your true power. The truth is simple. You are not here to struggle. You are here to live, to experience, and to create. You are here to remember your divine essence and to allow the universe to reflect that essence back to you. You are the creator of your reality, and when you stop trying to get it, you give yourself permission to create it with ease. There is no need for struggle. There is no need for worry. There is no need for fear. The moment you let go of the need to try, you open the space for everything you desire to flow to you effortlessly. It's time to stop trying to get it and instead simply trust that it is already yours. The moment you let go of the struggle, you will find that you have it all. You are already whole, you are already abundant, you are already loved. And when you stop trying, the universe will show you just how true that is. So let go. Let go of the fear. Let go of the struggle. Let go of the belief that you need to try harder. Trust that it is already yours. Trust that everything you desire is already on its way to you, and that the moment you stop trying to get it, you will have it all. When you stop trying to force outcomes, you step into a profound state of relaxation, of allowing. The more you allow life to unfold naturally, the more you see how effortlessly it can come to you. You may have been taught to believe that success requires relentless effort, to believe that happiness is earned through struggle. But the truth is quite the opposite. Success, joy, peace, and everything you desire is simply an effect of aligning with your highest self and allowing the universe to deliver. It doesn't need to be forced, it needs to be received. When you are in a state of wanting, you are focusing on the absence of the thing you desire. You are telling the universe that it's not here, that it's something outside of you, something you have to chase. But the moment you stop wanting and begin feeling as though you already possess what you desire, you align with the energy of abundance. You shift from a place of lack to a place of wholeness. When you believe that you already have what you want, you no longer need to fight for it. In fact, the mere act of chasing after your desires signifies that you do not truly believe they are already yours. The power of manifestation lies in the ability to believe that what you seek is already yours, and to experience that belief fully in the present moment. The act of trying is an act of resistance. It is an effort to manipulate the outside world to match your internal desires, and that effort only creates more resistance. However, when you stop trying and surrender to the belief that what you want is already yours, you allow the universe to align with your energy and bring it to you. The secret is not in the doing, but in the being. You are already the person who possesses everything you seek. The wealth, the love, the success, the happiness, it is all inside you already. And the more you try to get these things, the further away they seem to be. But when you stop trying and begin embodying the essence of having everything you desire, you become the magnet that attracts it all. Your thoughts are not just fleeting things. They are powerful forces that shape your reality. What you think about consistently, you will bring about. This is why it is so important to focus not on the absence of what you want, but on the abundance that is already yours. Stop focusing on what you don't have, and start focusing on what you already possess. Shift your thoughts from lack to abundance, from struggle to ease, and you will see your reality begin to reflect that shift. In every moment, you have the power to choose your thoughts and emotions. You have the power to decide whether you will continue to chase after something, or whether you will embrace the truth that it is already yours. The moment you realize that you do not need to chase after anything, you step into a state of complete freedom. You stop working against the natural flow of life, and instead you start working with it. The more you try to control the outcome, the more you resist the natural process of manifestation. It is a paradox. The more you chase after something, the more you push it away. But the moment you let go of control and trust in the process, the universe aligns with your desires. It's like trying to hold on to water. The more tightly you grip it, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you relax your grip and allow the water to flow, it stays with you. You must trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when it seems like things are not moving in the direction you want. Trust that the universe is always working behind the scenes to bring you what you desire. It may not come in the exact way you expect, but it will come. When you stop trying to control the how and when you allow space for miracles to happen. One of the most profound shifts you can make in your life is the realization that you are already whole. You are not lacking anything. You do not need to work harder or try more desperately to prove your worth or to earn the things you desire. You are worthy simply because you exist. Your desires are not signs of what you lack, but rather reflections of your divine essence, calling you to become more of who you truly are. When you stop trying to get something, you begin to express more fully who you are, and in doing so, you allow everything you desire to come to you. The law of attraction is not just about asking for what you want and waiting for it to appear. It is about becoming the person who already has what you want. It is about embodying the energy of having it and allowing that energy to magnetize your desires to you. When you embody the feeling of already having what you want, you send a powerful signal to the universe that you are in alignment with your desires. The universe responds to this vibration by bringing you everything that matches it. You are a vibrational being, and everything in the universe is energy. The car you drive, the relationships you have, the money in your bank account, they are all the result of the vibration you are emitting. When you stop trying to get it, you stop emitting the vibration of lack. Instead, you begin to emit the vibration of abundance, and the universe responds accordingly. But this process is not about forcing yourself into a state of feeling good when you don't truly feel that way. It is not about pretending everything is fine when you feel conflicted. The key is to shift your perception. Start by recognizing that the desire you have is already a part of you. You are already in possession of it. Your only task is to align with the truth that it is already yours. Once you realize that the thing you desire is not separate from you, the need to try to get it disappears. You no longer need to chase it because you are already living as though you have it. Take a moment and ask yourself, what is it that I am striving for? And now ask, what if I already had it? What would that feel like? Step into the feelings of having what you want. Feel the joy, the peace, the gratitude. As you embrace those feelings, you align with the very energy that brings your desires into reality. The more you feel as if your desires are already fulfilled, the more they will materialize in your life. Life is not about struggling to achieve something. It is about recognizing that everything you need is already here, and everything you desire is already on its way to you. The universe is abundant, and there is more than enough for everyone. There is no need to compete, no need to hustle. All you have to do is align with the energy of abundance. Stop trying to get it, and allow the universe to bring everything you desire to you. This process takes patience. It takes trust. But most of all, it takes surrender. When you stop trying to force things into existence, you begin to experience life in a whole new way. You begin to see the magic of the universe unfolding before your eyes. You begin to notice synchronicities, opportunities, and blessings that were always there, but that you were too caught up in the chase to see. The key to having it all is not in the striving, it is in the being. The more you allow yourself to be the person who already has everything you desire, the more the universe will respond to you. And when you stop trying to get it, you will have it all. You may wonder how this all works. How can simply stopping the pursuit of something, releasing the need to chase after it, bring it to you? The answer lies in the understanding of the deeper workings of the mind and the universe. We live in a world governed by laws far greater than we can comprehend with our conscious minds. But once you begin to understand that everything is energy, that your thoughts and feelings are not merely fleeting moments but actual vibrations influencing the fabric of your reality, things begin to make sense. Every thought, every feeling you emit, whether positive or negative, creates a ripple in the universe, sending out signals that attract similar energy back to you. So the more you focus on the lack of what you desire, the more you create a reality where that lack persists. It is the natural law at work. What you focus on grows. This is why it's so important to shift your focus from what you don't have to what you already have, and to fully embrace the feeling of having it now. When you stop the constant yearning and let go of the urgency, you create space for the fulfillment of your desires. You have been programmed, often by society and external influences, to believe that striving, achieving, and doing are the only ways to succeed. The truth is, success is not about how much effort you put into obtaining something. True success comes from within, from the quiet realization that you are already whole and complete. You are already worthy of everything you desire. The act of getting is simply an illusion. Your true power lies in being in the present moment and accepting your inherent worth. When you stop trying to get it, you tap into the infinite power that exists within you. You stop pushing against the flow of life and instead flow with it. The struggle to obtain what you desire fades away, and you become an open channel for the universe to deliver everything you want. The key is surrendering the need for control, surrendering the need to prove your worthiness, and surrendering the belief that you have to work harder or strive more to have what you want. You let go of resistance and open yourself up to the abundance that is already yours. At the same time, it's important to recognize that the process of manifesting what you desire isn't about doing nothing. It's about aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with the vision of who you are and what you want to bring into your life. But the key distinction is that you are not trying to get something that is separate from you. You are allowing your true self to emerge and express itself fully. Your desires are not something outside of you that you need to chase down. They are an expression of who you already are. And the more you align with your true nature, the more everything you desire will flow toward you effortlessly. Think about how much easier it is to attract positive outcomes when you are calm and centered. When you are relaxed and at peace, you are in a state of allowing. You are no longer pushing, no longer forcing, but instead, you are simply being. And in that state of being, you are vibrating at the frequency of everything you desire. It's like a magnet drawing everything you want right to you. The harder you push, the more you are pushing against the flow of life. But when you stop trying and simply align with the present moment, with who you truly are, you open the floodgates to your desires. This might feel like a paradox, especially if you spent your life working hard to get ahead, trying to achieve something, or chasing after success. But that's exactly the point. Your hard work and effort are not what bring you true fulfillment. They may bring temporary results, but long-term fulfillment comes from a place of inner peace, from a state of acceptance, and from knowing that you already have everything you need. Your worth does not depend on what you achieve or acquire. Your worth is inherent. And the moment you realize that, you stop chasing and start living in alignment with your true self. This is where true power lies, in the ability to release the need for external validation and to simply be who you are. When you are fully aligned with the energy of who you are, when you are not attached to outcomes or driven by the need to prove something, you become magnetic. You become a vessel through which all your desires can flow. And the best part is, it's not a difficult thing to do. It doesn't require years of effort, hard work, or sacrifice. All it requires is the willingness to stop trying, to trust that everything you desire is already on its way to you, and to allow the universe to work its magic. The law of attraction is a powerful force, but its true power lies in understanding that you are not the one doing the attracting. You are the one allowing. The universe is already bringing you everything you desire. Your job is to align with that truth and let go of the need to chase after it. Once you stop trying to get it, you realize that it's always been there, waiting for you to claim it. It's been right in front of you the entire time, and all you had to do was stop running after it. When you stop trying, you stop resisting, you stop fighting against the flow of life. And in that moment of surrender, you become one with the universe. You become the creator of your reality, not by trying to force it, but by allowing it to unfold in its perfect time and form. The process of manifestation is not about striving, but about being. It's about stepping into the person you are meant to be and living as if everything you want is already yours. One of the most profound realizations you can have is that you don't need to work hard to achieve your desires. The universe is abundant, and there is more than enough for everyone. There is no scarcity, no shortage, no competition. The only thing standing between you and your desires is the belief that you need to try to get them. When you release that belief and accept that everything you need is already here, everything you desire will manifest effortlessly. The power is not in the struggle. The power is in the surrender. The power is in letting go of the need to chase, to fight, and to force things into being. The power is in knowing that you are enough, that you are worthy of everything you desire, and that everything you want is already on its way to you. The moment you stop trying to get it is the moment you open the door to everything you have ever wanted. When you let go of the need to chase after what you desire, you shift your energy from a place of scarcity and lack to one of abundance and trust. This is the key to transforming your life. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is trying to fill a void, and instead you recognize that you are already whole. Your desires are not separate from you, they are a reflection of your own inner being. The more you align with your inner self, the more your desires naturally unfold. It is in the act of letting go, of not grasping so tightly to the outcome, that you create the space for your dreams to become a reality. Imagine for a moment that you are in a constant state of longing, always striving, always trying to achieve the next thing. The mind is continuously working, calculating, figuring out what to do next, how to get to the next level. There is no peace in this cycle. It's exhausting. But when you stop, when you pause, and allow yourself to be present, something miraculous happens. You create a gap in the noise, a stillness that allows the universe to step in. It's as though you've finally stopped fighting against the current, and now you are allowing the current to carry you effortlessly toward your destination. This doesn't mean that you become passive or lazy. It simply means that you cease the struggle, and instead you act from a place of inspiration rather than desperation. The actions you take come from a place of alignment, not from a place of pushing and forcing. When you act from inspiration, your actions are energized and effortless. The results you achieve are a natural outpouring of your alignment with your true self, not a result of hard labor or endless striving. Now think about the energy you bring to every situation in your life. How often do you find yourself caught in a state of needing approval, validation, or achievement? How much of your energy goes into trying to prove something to others, or trying to be something you're not? When you stop trying to get approval, when you stop seeking external validation, you release yourself from the chains of comparison and competition. You stop looking outside of yourself for confirmation and begin to trust the wisdom within. The truth is, everything you need is already within you. The moment you stop trying to get what you desire, you start to recognize that you already have it. You start to see the ways in which your desires are already showing up in your life, even if they are in subtle forms. You realize that the key to manifesting what you want is not through striving, but through aligning with your own inner truth. It's about trusting the process and having faith in the timing of the universe. When you stop trying to get it, you stop putting pressure on yourself. You stop living in a state of constant need and longing. Instead, you step into a state of abundance, of trust, and of allowing. You begin to realize that your worth is not determined by what you achieve, but by who you are at the core. Your worth is inherent, and nothing outside of you can add or take away from that. Once you understand this, you no longer feel the need to chase after your desires because you know they are already yours. You simply need to allow them to come to you. This is the beauty of manifestation. It's not about forcing the universe to give you what you want. It's about aligning yourself with the flow of the universe. When you stop trying to get it, you open yourself up to receiving it in ways that you couldn't have imagined before. The universe has a way of bringing you exactly what you need at exactly the right time. And when you stop trying to make it happen, you stop blocking the flow of abundance that is always present. Let go of the notion that you have to work harder to achieve your dreams. Stop believing that you have to hustle and grind in order to succeed. These beliefs are rooted in scarcity and fear. They tell you that there isn't enough, that you have to fight for what you want. But when you stop trying to get it, you release yourself from this limiting belief. You step into a new paradigm, one where everything you desire is already within your reach. The shift from effort to ease is a powerful one. It requires trust. Trust that the universe knows what you need, and that everything you desire will come to you in its own perfect timing. Trust that you don't have to force anything, that you don't have to chase after your dreams. Trust that all you need to do is be yourself and allow life to unfold as it's meant to. The more you surrender to this process, the more your life begins to flow with ease. You begin to notice that opportunities arise effortlessly, that things start to fall into place without you having to force them. The job you've been wanting comes to you, the relationship you've been seeking manifests, The financial abundance you've desired appears without you needing to struggle or chase after it. It's as though the moment you stop trying, everything you've been seeking finds its way to you. This shift can be challenging, especially if you spent your entire life believing that success comes from hard work, struggle, and effort. But the truth is, success doesn't come from striving, it comes from alignment. It comes from knowing that everything you desire is already yours, and that the universe is simply waiting for you to align with it. When you stop trying to get it, you allow the universe to deliver what's already on its way to you. Your desires are not something that you have to earn or deserve, they are simply a reflection of who you are. The more you stop trying to chase them, the more you step into the fullness of who you already are. And that is when you begin to experience the magic of life, the effortless flow of abundance, joy, and fulfillment that is your birthright. So take a moment and breathe. Let go of the constant pressure to get it. Release the need to strive, to chase, to struggle. Trust that everything you want is already on its way to you. Allow yourself to be present in the moment, to fully embrace the truth of who you are. And as you do, you will find that the very things you once chased so desperately will come to you effortlessly, simply because you stopped trying to get them. The universe is always working in your favor. Your desires are not separate from you. They are a reflection of your own divine essence. Stop trying to get them, and you will have it all. Allow the natural flow of life to bring everything you desire to you, and watch as your world transforms in the most beautiful and unexpected ways. When you stop trying to get it, you will finally realize that it was never about getting it at all. It was always about letting it come to you. In conclusion, the key to unlocking the life you desire lies in the profound act of letting go. When you stop trying to get what you want, you release the resistance that blocks your flow, and you allow the universe to bring your desires to you effortlessly. It's not about forcing or striving, it's about aligning with who you truly are and trusting that everything you seek is already on its way to you. The moment you stop the chase, you shift into a state of abundance, trust, and peace. You are enough, and you already have everything within you to manifest the life of your dreams. Embrace the power of surrender and allow your desires to flow toward you with ease. When you stop trying to get it, you open the door to receiving it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today to share a profound truth, a secret that has the power to transform your entire existence. The topic of our discussion is don't react, cut them off silently. And I assure you, this principle holds within it the very essence of creation itself. Now, you might be wondering, what does it mean to cut them off silently? Who are they? And why should we not react? My dear friends, they're not external entities or individuals, but rather the old states of consciousness that no longer serve your higher self. The reactive patterns, the habitual thoughts, the limiting beliefs, these are what we must cut off, and we must do so silently, within the sanctum of our own imagination. You see, the world you experience is nothing more than an outpicturing of your consciousness. Every person, every circumstance, every event in your life is a reflection of your inner state. When you react to these external manifestations, you are giving power to the very stage you wish to transcend. You are, in essence, watering the seeds of what you do not want to grow. But when you cut them off silently, when you refuse to engage with these old patterns, you are withdrawing your attention and thus your creative power from them. Remember, attention is the currency of your mind. Where you place your attention, there flows the energy of creation. Let me illustrate this with a simple example. Imagine you are in a situation that would typically provoke a reaction of anger or frustration. Perhaps someone has criticized you unfairly, or you've faced an unexpected setback. The old you might have lashed out, defended yourself vehemently, or fallen into despair. But the new you, the you that understands the power of imagination, does something entirely different. Instead of reacting, you paused. You recognize that this external event is merely shadow, a reflection of an old state of consciousness. And in that moment of recognition, you make a choice. You choose to cut off that old state silently. You turn your attention away from the seeming reality of the external world and towards the only true reality, the reality of your imagination.
In your imagination, you see yourself as you wish to be. Calm, confident, unaffected by external circumstances. You feel the naturalness of this state. And as you dwell in this new state, as you make it alive within you, you are literally transforming your world from the inside out. This, my friends, is the true meaning of don't react. Cut them off silently. It is not a passive act of suppression, but rather an active, creative process of choosing a new state of being. It is the art of conscious assumption, the practice of embodying the state of the wish fulfilled. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, isn't this just ignoring reality? Isn't it irresponsible to not react to the challenges and problems in our lives? And to this, I say, what you call reality is nothing more than fruit of past assumptions. It is the harvest of seeds planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness. When you react to it, you are simply planting more seeds of the same kind. But when you cut off these reactions silently, when you shift your attention to the desired state, you are planting new seeds. You are choosing a new assumption and thus creating a new reality. This is not irresponsible. It is the highest responsibility you can take. For you are the operant power in your world. And by consciously choosing your state of being, you are consciously creating your world. Let us delve deeper into this principle. When I say don't react, I am not advocating for a life of inaction or passivity. Far from it. I'm calling you to the most profound action possible. The action of consciously assuming the state of your wish fulfilled. This action takes place not in the outer world, but in the inner world of your imagination. You see, most people live their lives backwards. They look to the outside world for causes, for reasons to feel or behave in certain ways. They're constantly reacting to what they perceive as external stimuli. But the truth, the great secret of life, is that the outer world is not the cause, but the effect. Your consciousness is the only cause there is. When you truly understand this, when you internalize this truth, you will see the folly of reacting to external circumstances. It's like arguing with your own shadow. Instead, you will learn to direct your attention, your consciousness towards the state you wish to embody. And as you dwell in this state, as you make it alive within you, the outer world has no choice. This is what it means to cut them off silently. You are severing the connection between external stimuli and your internal state. You are reclaiming your power as the creator of your reality. And you do this not through force or struggle, but silently in the quiet of your own imagination. Imagine for a moment that you are an actor on a stage. The circumstances of your life are the script you've been given. Now, most people feel bound by this script. They react to every line, every stage direction, believing they have no choice. But you, my dear friends, you understand the power of imagination. You know better. You know that you can step off that stage at any moment. You can walk into the wings, into the dressing room of your imagination, and put on a new costume. You can assume a new role, a new state of being. And when you return to the stage, fully embodying this new state, the entire play changes around you. This is the magic, the miracle of consciousness. This is the power you hold within you. And it all begins with that simple yet profound choice. Don't react, cut them off silently. Now let's explore how this principle applies in your daily life. Perhaps you're in a job that no longer satisfies you. The old you might have reacted with frustration, complaining about your circumstances, feeling trapped and powerless. But the new you, the you that understands the power of imagination, instead of reacting to the unwanted circumstances, you cut them off silently. You withdraw your attention from the current job and all its associated frustrations. Instead, you turn your attention to the job you desire. In your imagination, you see yourself in that new position. You feel the satisfaction of doing work you love. You experience the joy of using your talents fully. Here's the crucial part. You dwell in this state. You make it so alive, so real in your imagination that it feels more present, more tangible than your current circumstances. You live from this new assumption, this new state of being. What happens next might seem like magic to those who don't understand the law of consciousness. Opportunities begin to appear. The right people come into your life. Circumstances align in ways you couldn't have planned. And before long, you find yourself in that very job you imagined, wondering how it all happened so seamlessly. But you know that it was your choice to not react, to cut off the old state silently, and to assume the new state that created this new reality. You have witnessed firsthand the creative power of your consciousness. Let's take another example. Perhaps you're in a relationship that's filled with conflict. The old you might have reacted to every perceived slight, every disagreement. You might have engaged in arguments trying to prove your point or change the other person. But the new you, the you that understands the power of imagination, chooses a different path. Instead of reacting to the conflict, you cut it off silently. You withdraw your attention from the problems, the disagreements, the tensions. Instead, you turn your attention to the relationship you desire. In your imagination, you see yourself in a harmonious, loving relationship. You feel the warmth of mutual understanding, the joy of deep connection. Yeah? You dwell in this state. You make it so real in your imagination that it becomes more vivid, more present in the current circumstances. You live from this new assumption, this new state of being. And once again, what follows might seem miraculous. The dynamics of the relationship begin to shift. Your partner seems to change, becoming more understanding, more loving. The conflicts that once seemed insurmountable begin to dissolve. And you find yourself in the very relationship. You imagine marveling at the transformation. But you understand. You know that it wasn't your partner who changed, but you. By choosing not to react, by cutting off the old state silently, and by assuming the new state, you transformed your world from within. This, my dear friends, is the power you hold within you. This is the creative force of your consciousness. And it is available to you in every moment, in every area of your life. Now, some of you might be wondering, but Neville, what about when things go wrong? What about when we face real challenges or tragedies? And to this I say, they're not real tragedies, not real challenges outside of your assumption of them as such. What you perceive as a tragedy or a challenge is simply an opportunity to exercise your power of assumption when faced with what appears to be a difficult situation. Remember, don't react, cut them off silently. Don't give power to the appearance by reacting to it. Instead, withdraw your attention from the seeming problem. Turn within to your imagination and assume the state of the solution already realized. If you're facing financial difficulties, don't react with fear or worry. Cut off those states silently. Instead, assume the state of financial abundance. Feel the relief, the security, the freedom that comes with financial well-being. Make this state so real in your imagination that it supersedes the current appearance of lack. If you're dealing with health issues, don't react with anxiety or despair. Cut off those states silently. Instead, assume the state of perfect health. Feel the vitality coursing through your body. Experience the joy of vibrant wealth. Dwell in this state until it becomes more real to you than any physical symptom. Remember, the outer world is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner assumptions. By refusing to react to its appearances and instead consciously choosing your state of being, you are exercising your divine creative power. You are fulfilling your role as the operant power in your universe. Now, I want to address a common misconception. When I say don't react, cut them off silently, I'm not advocating for a life of emotional suppression or denial. This principle is not about ignoring your feelings or pretending that challenges don't exist. Rather, it's about recognizing the true source of your feelings and experiences and consciously choosing the state from which you wish to operate. You see, your emotions are not caused by external circumstances. They are the result of your state of consciousness, your assumptions about reality. When you react emotionally to external events, you are unconsciously accepting those events as causes of your internal state. But when you understand that your consciousness is the only cause, you liberate yourself from this reactive pattern. Instead of reacting, you observe. You witness your emotions without identifying with them. And in that space of awareness, you make a choice. You choose the state you wish to embody, regardless of external appearances. This is what it means to cut them off silently. You are severing the assumed connection between external events and your internal state. This practice requires vigilance and persistence. The habits of reaction are deeply ingrained, reinforced by years of unconscious living. But with consistent practice, you will find yourself naturally assuming the state of your wish fulfilled, regardless of external circumstances. Imagine for a moment that you are standing before a mirror. The reflection you see is your current life circumstances. Now, if you don't like what you see, what do? You argue with the reflection. Do you try to change it directly? Of course not. You understand that to change the reflection, you must change yourself. This is precisely how you should approach your life. Your external world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state. When you don't like what you see, don't react to it. Don't try to change it directly. Instead, turn within. Change your assumption, your state of being. And watch as the reflection, your outer world, changes to match your new inner state. This, my friends, is the art of living creatively. It is the practice of conscious manifestation. And it all begins with that simple yet profound choice. Don't react, cut them off silently. Now let's discuss how to implement this principle in your daily life. The key is to cultivate a state of awareness, a witnessing consciousness that observes your thoughts, feelings, and reactions without getting caught up in them. This awareness creates a space, a pause between stimulus and response, and in that space lies your power to choose. When you notice yourself beginning to react to a person or situation, pause. Take a deep breath. Remember that what you're seeing is not the cause of your reaction, but the effect of your past assumptions. In that moment of recognition, you have the power to cut off the old state silently. How do you do this? By turning your attention away from the external situation and towards your desired state of being. Ask yourself, how would I feel if my desire were already fulfilled? What would my inner state be if I were already the person I wish to be? Then, using the power of your imagination, step into that state, feel it, experience it as vividly as you can. Make it more real to you than the current circumstances. This is not mere visualization or positive thinking. This is the active assumption of the state of your wish fulfilled. As you practice this, you'll find that your reactions to external events begin to change naturally. What once provoked anger or fear now passes by without affecting your inner state. You become less reactive and more creative, less a victim of circumstances, and more the conscious author of your life. Remember, the outer world has no power over you, except the power you give it through your attention and assumption. When you withdraw your attention from unwanted circumstances and place it firmly on your desired state, you are literally shifting the foundations of your reality. This practice may seem challenging, but first, especially when faced with deeply ingrained patterns or particularly difficult circumstances, remember that every time you choose not to react, every time you cut off an old state silently and assume a new one, you are exercising your creative power. You are reshaping your world from within. Consider for a moment the immense implications of this principle. If your consciousness is the only cause, if your assumptions create your reality, then there are truly no limitations to what you can be, do, or have. The only constraints are those you accept in your own mind. When you fully embrace this truth, when you consistently practice the art of not reacting, and consciously assuming your desired state, you step into your true power as a creative being. You become the conscious author of your life story. No longer a passive reader reacting to every plot twist, but the writer, director, and star of your own magnificent production. Imagine living from this state of empowerment. Imagine moving through your days with the unshakable knowing that you are the creator of your reality. How would you approach challenges? How would you interact with others? How would you pursue your dreams and aspirations? You would no longer be swayed by external circumstances. You would no longer be at the mercy of other people's opinions or actions. You would stand firm in your own creative power, consistently choosing the state from which you wish to operate, regardless of appearances. This, my dear friends, is true freedom. It is the liberation that comes from recognizing and embracing your divine nature as a creative being. And it all begins with that simple yet profound choice. Don't react. Cut them off silently. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to emphasize a crucial point. The principle we've explored today, don't react, cut them off silently, is not merely a technique for achieving your desires or improving your life circumstances. While it certainly leads to these outcomes, its true significance is far greater. This principle is nothing less than the key to awakening to your true nature. It is the path to realizing your oneness with the creative power of the universe. For when you consistently practice not reacting to external stimuli, and instead consciously choosing your state of being, you are aligning yourself with the fundamental creative principle of existence. You see, in the ultimate reality, there is no separation between you and the creative power you call God. Your consciousness, your I am, is that very power individualized as you. When you react to external circumstances, you are temporarily forgetting this truth. You are seeing yourself as separate from the creative power, as a victim of external forces. But when you cut off these reactions silently, when you consciously choose your state of being regardless of appearances, you are acknowledging and embodying your true nature as the operant power in your world. You are saying, in essence, I am the creator of my reality. This is why this principle is so transformative.